Hello everyone and welcome back, and this time we're actually going to be covering the reissuing of the Decidueye Terror Raid Counter Guide. With seeing Decidueye and seeing how much of a jerk this thing is, especially with triple arrows, we have come up with a better way of actually defeating these things. So before we get into that, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more. It is the best way to help support the channel and make sure more awesome viewers like you get to see what we do here. If we get to 3K subs by the end of the year, we actually are going to be doing a Nuzlocke of Pokemon Radical Red. So if you want to see that happen, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Comment below what you guys have been using and how much you guys have liked making it work, but let's go into the things for actually how this bird works. So at 95% of time remaining, so pretty much after turn 1, HISUI and Decidueye is going to purge your stats and your status and your abilities, so any form of setup is completely useless, and then shortly after that, and right before it actually activates its shield, it will purge its own debuffs. So, the best thing to really do is start building up to your Terrastalize after it purges away your buffs, or setting up yourself. Then, when it Terrastalize shields, that's when you're going to want to go and start hammering it with moves. So setting up things like Nasty Plot, if you have them, or Acid Spray after the shield goes up. Physical options are not going to work against things. Despite HISUI and Decidueye's significantly lower physical defense, you can't debuff its physical defense when the shield is up. So, we've come up and crafted even better options than before. We're going to go in with our attackers, and really the best one is Galarian Moltres. You're going to want to actually Terrastalize Poison on it, and this is not the ideal set for it. Instead of course, the Sky Attack, you're going to be wanting Terra Blast, because Terra Blast Poison. The reason for this is when you are using a Terra move that is the same type as... When you're using a move that is the same type as your Terrastalize type, when you are Terrastalized, it does over double damage to the shield that it would normally do. When you're hitting the shield, you do 70% your normal damage when using the same move as your Terrastalize, whereas if you're Terrastalized and you're not using a move that matches that typing, so say you were to Terrastalize into Poison, but you're using a flying move, you would only deal 30% of that move's normal damage. So you want to go for a move that will match your Terra type. So Terra Poison on the Galarian Moltres is the best option. You're going to want Nasty Plot and Air Slash, so you can build up your Terrastalize as quickly as possible, then Terrastalize and go for some big damage. You're going to want to have Nasty Plot because you need to boost yourself up. The held item for every single one of these Pokemon is also going to need to be the Clear Amulet. Decidueye loves using triple arrows, which has a 50% chance of dropping your physical defense. You can drop Clear Amulet if you're in a coordinated lobby and one of your allies is using a specific Pokemon, or two specific Pokemon, but in general, you're going to want the Clear Amulet. Which also makes it important that you have an ally healing. Another option for this is actually Charizard. This is not the ideal moveset for it. You're going to be wanting Flamethrower, Heat Wave, Air Slash, and possibly Sunny Day, but in general, just special attacking fire moves and moves like Fire Blast. The reason for this is with Charizard's massive special attack stat normally, the ability of Solar Power in Sun, this thing is going to do a lot of damage. It doesn't have any boosting moves to boost up its own special attack. However, with allies using things such as Acid Spray, it's capable of doing an insane amount of damage. The other thing about this is Sun. Torkoal. Fantastic Pokemon. Clear Smog is fantastic for wiping away Decidueye's boosts. It is very fond of using Bulk Up and Solar Dance. Thankfully, it only uses these once. So if you can use a move like Taunt, which another Pokemon on here actually does have, and you use it at the right time, it shuts down the use of both of those, making Decidueye extremely easily manageable. Again, Inferno is also a fantastic move, and Clear Smog is actually great for redundancy in here. If you don't manage to taunt it in time, or it still manages to get off the boosts because the timing was a little off, Clear Smog is good for wiping away those boosts because it purges its own debuffs before the Terra Shield. You don't actually lose anything. Inferno also fantastic because if you use Inferno, it always inflicts a burn if it connects. Meaning, if you burn this thing, its attack is cut in half, so you're far more easily capable of taking hits. In addition, Sun just boosts your fire-type damage. Revavroom is the Pokemon we mentioned with Taunt. It is all around absolutely fantastic. Reason for this, Acid Spray is, of course, great for crippling, Taunt, fantastic for shutting down its bulk up, and Swords Dance when timed correctly. And you don't need Screech on this because we're going to go for special attacks. So you can tack on moves like Sludge Bomb. I had Overheat, which actually did come in handy once, as it allowed us to burst damage down and save one of our friends because the time almost ran out. But a move like Sludge Bomb is ideal for it, and Terra Poison. Salazzle is also a bit of an interesting one, as you can sort of use Salazzle in a similar vein as many of the other Pokemon above. It is a bit on the more frail side, however the advantage that it does have is its natural resistance to both Leaf Blade and to triple arrows, so it's not going to be hit as much. It is going to be taking damage from the Brave Bird, but you can very easily survive those if you have high physical defense EVs. Also gets Acid Spray, so it can be support. Nasty Plot, fantastic for boosting its own stats, and both Flamethrower and Sludge Bomb are both fantastic moves. Now we get into the dedicated support Pokemon, and these are the two Pokemon that you actually don't need to be running Clear Amulet if you are running. And that is if you're running a Drizzle Pelipper, because Drizzle, even though it nerfs the Fire-type moves, it makes moves like Hurricane perfectly accurate. So, you can do that. The reason why Hurricane is actually quite good is most Pokemon learn are Flying types, who of course resist both Grass and Fighting. Mist makes it so your stats cannot be dropped at all. This is extremely critical, as it can let you use an item such as the Shell Bell or Life Orb if you are so inclined, because of course you can't get your defenses dropped, allowing you to do more damage or get healing. It also gets Chilling Water, so it can actually debuff the HISUI and Decidueye's attack power. Though, with how much crit hacking HISUI and Decidueye's move pool has, this may vary. There are two other options that I have heard and actually seen quite well used, and that is a support Charge-a-Bug with Battery and Mudslap, as well as Pounce, because those are, not Pounce, Lunge, because that can decrease the physical attacks of the HISUI and Decidueye, as Lunge always decreases physical attack, and Mudslap decreases accuracy. Quite good. Battery also boosts the special attack of allies by 30%, allowing you to do more damage, and with a Violet you actually survive quite well. The other one is Toxapex, which I would say is less of a good option, as despite it resisting triple arrows, it is neutrally damaged by Leaf Blade. With Leaf Blade being the Terra boost of the HISUI and Decidueye, functionally that is a 180 base power move. That is a high crit chance. That's a lot of, you can use Chilling Water and it can use Acid Spray, however, you're still taking a lot of damage from that thing, significantly more than other options. You want to be avoiding both of its stabs if possible, and despite the unfortunateness of triple arrows being as good as it is, if you have the Clear Amulet, it's better to be taking a hit from the triple arrow than it is to be from Leaf Blade because of the significantly high power difference. And now we have Cresselia. The Moonduck of Terror is similar to Pelipper, but I would say far better. It may be weak to Shadow Claw, but it isn't actually that bad because Leaf Blade still does a bit more damage than you. But because you're going for full bulk on Cresselia, you're going to go max HP, max defense. And this thing's all support. Helping Hand, Lunar Blessing, and Mist. Mist makes it so, of course, your stats cannot be debuffed. Lunar Blessing heals your allies' health and clear status conditions, even though it can't inflict status conditions. Keeps allies topped off on HP. This is critical as it means you don't need to spend time doing the healing cheers, so they can keep getting to work, and with Helping Hand, you can even further boost their attacking power. One other Pokemon that people have actually mentioned to me in using, other than the Corviknight set, which I don't think the Corviknight set works very well here, because triple arrows, even though it can drop your defense, Mirror Armor doesn't work when the Terra Shield is applied. Not fantastic for that. The other one is actually Altaria, and it is a Cotton Guard set with Aerial Ace, It is a Cotton Guard Altaria with Roost, Aerial Ace, and Feather Dance. This was actually commented by one of the allies, JoeFire567, as it is capable of heavily debuffing the HISUI and Decidueye beforehand. However, the one issue with the set is with the Decidueye purging its stats before the shield goes up, and the shield blocking the status moves being used. Feather Dance realistically doesn't help all that much, and it is better to go with a move that is an attacking move that has a debuff as an attack as a secondary effect, because when the shield is up, Feather Dance is not capable of working. It is a good sort of budget silly set, however, it can only work before and after the shield is active, which the Purge stops that. But yeah, those are a lot of the options for it. There's a few other things that could potentially work, such as regular Cantonian Zapdos, things like Hurricane and Air Cutter, but they're a bit more niche, and despite it actually resisting everything other than the Shadow Claw, it doesn't have a way of boosting up its own stats. So, there is that. Again, a lot of fun things you can actually do with this raid, and now that we actually know what we're doing against it, it's far easier to handle. But in general, this thing is a jerk, and at the very least, it is a nice step back from the Mewtwo Terra Raid nightmares. I've been Maxis. I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more.